What makes your dad happy?
Hugs and kisses from me. That I love him. His family, Jesus. Well, bowling, I think that would help.
What makes your dad sad?
If I don't obey him. When I splash all the water around.
What is your dad's favorite thing to do?
Go to Starbucks. Play pillow fights. If we go like somewhere special like Disneyland or something.
How old is your dad?
3, 5, 68.
How tall is your dad?
Well, I'll go with like 8'12" or something. 20 inches.
What does your dad do for a job?
My dad's a police officer. He protects people. He works hard so that way we can get money to buy toys for our birthday.
What do you and your dad do together?
Sometimes we would have like a date together. We fight and wrestle. Snuggle when it's nighttime.
What's your dad really good at?
Lego Star Wars. Cooking. Tickling me because he's like so good I can almost throw up.
In what ways are your dad and God the same?
My dad and God love me and they're perfect. God helps me make the right choices and Daddy helps me make the right choices sometimes too. Because he gives me a warning.
How do you know that your dad loves you?
He tells me. It's because he's been with me all my days and he's never left me. Sometimes he hugs me and kisses me, and sometimes he says it to me. He's honest with me. He's well, I can tell that he really loves me. I love you, Daddy. Happy Father's Day.
Chasing after me. Before I knew that I was helpless, you had won the victory. Before I fell into the darkness, you were out to set me free. Before I knew that I was broken, you poured out your grace on me. You are everything, everything to me. You are the future in front of me. You're the fire inside my bones. And from now till eternity, you are all that I need, all that I need. You are the light that's alive in me. You're the breath that fills my lungs. And from now till eternity, you are all that I need, all that I need.
kids, this is Terry, and I'm one of the kids leads here at Granite United Church, and I am so happy you decided to join us today. Today is Father's Day, and I would like you all to wish your father or an uncle or a friend, a brother, any significant male in your life a happy Father's Day. You ready? Go ahead. Today's big idea is how I can take risks for God. So I'm going to count to 3, and I want you to say how you can take risks for God. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Shout it out. Awesome. So now we're going to go into our worship song called Something Higher in the Sky. And then we'll have our lesson of the week. Like I said, I am so happy you decided to join us today. Now kids, I want you to get up. I want you to get ready to dance. And parents too, get up and get ready to dance with your kids. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your light is burning through the shadows. I see the truth, there is nothing to fear. Your word, your way, your promise everlasting. Over and over, I see your hand. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your name, a tower in the battle. You are here, we have nothing to fear. Your voice, my river in the desert. Over and over, I see your hand. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own.
Yeah, where the love at? Picture these words, that's a Snapchat. Boomerang with the praise in the right back. Man, we higher than the sky, no turn back. If it be our last night, leave it all here. No fear, be clear, this is your year. Let go of anything that isn't God's steer. Visine with a dream, and it's so clear. Yeah, so clear. And you know wherever you go, I'ma stick close, they gon' think we a duo. Bond so tight, hug it out like a sumo. And I never think twice, you the boss of my life, no, you go. And this world not down with us. They can try to limit faith, but it's down to us. Man, love so deep, not a game to us. When the blessing come down, man, the praise go up, yeah.
Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. We are your own.
Hello! Have I got an epic story for you today? It's about spies, adventure, and a woman named Rahab who saved the day. Rahab lived in a city called Jericho. Rahab had made some bad choices. But God had a plan for Rahab, even though she didn't always do the right thing. God told the Israelites, God's chosen people, to go to Jericho, but they didn't want to run in without knowing what they were getting into. So Joshua, their leader, sent 2 spies into the city. When the spies got there, they decided to stay the night at Rahab's house. The king of Jericho heard there were spies in his city, and he didn't like that. So he sent soldiers to capture them. But when they got to Rahab's house, she hid them and said they weren't there anymore. Meanwhile, the spies were hiding on her roof. After the soldiers left, Rahab went to the spies and told them she knew they were on God's side. She knew it was risky to protect the spies, but she knew it was even riskier not to side with God. So she asked the spies, "Will you save me and my family?" The spies said, "Sure." And Rahab let them down from the roof with a rope, sending them in the opposite direction of the king's soldiers. It must have been scary for Rahab to go against the king. After all, he was the most powerful person in her city. But Rahab chose to take a big risk to help God's people. And just like Rahab, I can take risks for God.
Well, welcome. I sure did miss you guys, like a lot. The past week I've done a lot of reading. I read a story in the Bible that you wouldn't believe. There was action. There was secrecy. I have a secret. And there was triumph. Thank you. Thank you. I won. You love me. You really love me. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah! Yes! Yeah! I'm telling you, the story had it all, and it got me excited. Because this week's series is all about epic. And if I had one word to describe the story I read, it would be epic.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Cassie. I was just talking about this week's story.
What's the story?
Oh, man. It was great. It was the ultimate superhero story. A classic feel-good action drama. There's this lady named Rahab, right? And this lady made a lot of bad choices in her life. And outside the city, Joshua gathered 2 Israelite men who would sneak into Jericho and spy on the city.
Why would they do that?
Well, because God told them
Okay, keep going. This is a good story so far.
to. It really is. So the spies snuck into the city, and when it became nighttime, they went into Rahab's house to spend the night.
Was Rahab an Israelite?
Nope, she didn't know the spies, but she did let them stay. But someone did see the spies go into her house, so they told the king of Jericho that the spies were hiding in Rahab's house.
Oh no, she's gonna get in trouble.
Yep, so in the morning, the officials went to her house, knocking on the door looking for the spies.
What did Rahab do?
Well, when Rahab found out that the king knew, she hid the spies on the roof and told the officials, yeah, they were here, but they left.
Well, that was a close one, but it's actually kind of cool, because she probably saved their lives.
She sure did. So Rahab let the spies escape through her window, but before they went, she only asked one thing.
What did she ask?
She asked if they would save her and her family when the Israelites took over Jericho. The spies said yes and told her to tie a scarlet ribbon outside her window. This would be a reminder of their promise to her and a symbol of her family being saved.
Wow, that is a great story. So what do you think the lesson to be learned is?
Are you serious? That was obvious. Ha, I'm gonna become a superhero.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna be a superhero. The most epic superhero ever.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Pretty simple. Rahab was a person who made a lot of bad choices.
Right.
And then when she saw the opportunity to help someone, she did. And she risked her life and the life of others to do the right thing. And guess what?
What?
So I was reading the Bible today, and in Hebrews 11, there's a thing called the Hall of Faith. It's like the Hall of Fame, but for people who obey God.
Okay, who was in the Hall of Faith?
Well, Moses, Nehemiah, Noah, Ruth, Abraham, and guess who else?
Batman?
No, but that would be cool. It was Rahab.
Really?
Yep, that's even more confirmation that I'm destined to be a hero, save the innocent, and take risks so I too can be in the Hall of Faith.
Wow, that seems like a pretty big dream.
I know, but that's what God has called me to do.
Is it though?
I think so.
I don't know, Carl. I think God is calling us to do something else.
Well, what do you mean?
I just think God has a pretty simple plan for us. Do you remember last week's big idea?
You mean I can trust God?
Yep. Why do you think Rahab risked her life to save those spies?
I don't know. Maybe she wanted to be in the Hall of Faith? She wanted to be admired as a superhero who saves people?
Nope. Rahab did that because she realized God is real, and she wanted to put her trust in God that day. She realized that taking a risk for God is a risk worth taking.
Wow, I never thought about it like that before. So you're saying I need to take risks for God?
Yep, we will often be faced with situations that require us to take risks, to do things that are tough or scary. But it's okay, because if God asks us to do something, we know God will be with us.
Things are tough and scary, huh? Well, does skydiving count as taking a risk for God?
I don't think so.
What about going up behind a horse and pinching it?
Definitely not.
What about drinking chunky lemon milk that's been in the fridge for 4 months? That's taking a risk, right?
Definitely a risk, but not one for God.
All right. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the story of Rahab is a really good example of what someone should be willing to do if they love God. Just like if we had a friend at school that might be in trouble, we know we would help them, even if it meant we would get in trouble.
You're right. I can still be an epic superhero as long as I take risk for God.
Whoa, Mr. Hall of Faith. I think you just said something pretty epic.
Wait, that's our big idea!
Today's big idea is I can take risks for God.
So on the count of 3, we're all gonna shout our big idea. Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. I can take risks for God! All right! Good job! We did it, everyone! Huzzah!
This was a fun story.
It sure was. Now I'm gonna go and practice my superhero catchphrases in the mirror. Have a good one.
Good morning, kids. I'm so happy to be a part of this lesson with you guys today. I miss you. My name is Zenny Sanchez. I am one of the kids ministry leads in the Haverhill campus. What do you guys think about today's lesson? Today's lesson was about taking risks for God. And sometimes we need to do that, and we step out of our comfort zones and just take those risks for God because we love God and we just know it's the right thing to do when we feel it in our spirits to do that, and He will let us know. So in today's lesson, we talked about how the two spies from Israel took a risk sneaking into Jericho. And then Rahab took a risk hiding them. She put her life on the line for that because it was the right thing to do. And the Lord made sure she was protected because she was protecting part of God's plan. And also, how about Paul? Paul took risks building churches. And that was risky then because you faced a lot of persecution if you believed in Jesus Christ and you believed in God. And he took those risks. What kind of risks have you taken lately? Have you invited any friends to join us online for church? Or spoken to anybody about Jesus and the love of Christ? You know, these are just examples of risks that we take. And it can feel a little scary sometimes when you just have those conversations and step out of your shell. But it's so worth it. So take risks. Tell people about Jesus Christ. Tell your friends about Jesus and the love of Jesus. Invite them to church. When you do return back to school, if there's someone that seems lonely and needs a friend, don't be shy. Walk up to them and talk to them and take that risk because you're sharing the love of Christ. So let's talk about today's memory verse next. So this is a verse that we're working on memorizing, right? So we are on 1 Samuel 12:24. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things He has done for you. Every day I love to reflect on all the great things the Lord has done for me. He has done so many great things for all of us. Our church keeps us safe, and He's amazing. So before the end of today's lesson, we have one more song to praise and worship our Lord. Make sure to get up and praise Him with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul. Have an awesome week. And I hope you guys have an amazing summer. God bless. Love you guys.
In the chaos, when I'm far away, I can hear you. I'll never be the same. God, you're calling out my name, 'cause you love me. God, you lead me when I've lost my way. You'll never leave me, never let me stray. When I call you, God, you won't delay, 'cause you love me, 'cause you love me. Forever I will lift my voice, forever you will be my choice. to your light. My heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Out of the darkness